YouTube, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another track guide, MX5 around Oulton Park International for Season 4, Week 5 of the 2020 season on iRacing. Really tricky track. I want to jump straight into it because this track kills me. So here we are coming out the last turn, heading up the little hill here, about to cross the start-finish line. And we're in 4th gear, heading into the first turn now, looking to spot our braking point. This sign on our left is our braking point. It's not ideal, it's not one of my favourite braking points, which I suppose adds to how much I dislike the first turn, but it's all we really have. So as we approach this sign on our left, we begin to brake and drop it down to 3rd gear. Also, another quick note, you'll see it says lap time of 1:54.084 there. I didn't upload that lap because I went off the track a couple times and it was too dirty. You know, it's not what I'm all about. I want to upload clean laps as often as I can. So, slightly slower lap by about a 10th. But anyway, just ignore that. We'll move forward. So initially we brake quite hard and then we begin trail braking very, very quickly going into this turn. The best advice I can give you is to try and get on the power very early and really crank on that steering wheel. You want to try and straddle a curb on the inside and you want to be full power as you're doing this. And then watch out for corner exit. Obviously, Oulton Park, infamous for its off tracks, so just be careful as we shift up to 4th, head down the hill into the 2nd braking point. Now this turn, again, another awkward turn. We're going to be braking just as we begin to head down the crest, and we're going to be braking very gently, dropping it down to 3rd gear and almost coasting through the turn. The goal here is to get the car turned in nice and early and keep it nice and tight, using the power to stabilise the car as we get about halfway through the turn before we really get back on the throttle. Just going to hold it here to show you the segment of curb, which is my signal to go full power. If you're not full power by this point, you're going to be losing time. That is the cue, that is what I live and die by on this corner. And up to 4th gear on exit, and then down this short straight before we head into a fairly simple left-hander. Nice and easy this one. Turn in where the escape road is on the right, give it a little lift, keep it nice and tight on the inside. I like to clip the curb on the inside and then go full power. And immediately into this tricky right-hander. I like to use the tyres on my left as a reference for my braking. Just as I get past the tyres, I slam on hard, drop it down to 3rd, then quickly down to 2nd, and try and dive into this turn. As soon as you've got your car slowed down enough to get into the turn, I begin to trail brake to help my car rotate. Shortly after, it's back on full power. As this MX5 doesn't have much power, you can really slam that throttle down. It may help with a bit of rotation. You're never really going to understeer coming out of a slow corner like that. Quickly up to 3rd, then we're going up to 4th gear just before the first of 2 very awkward chicanes. Fortunately, there is this oil spill, I guess, that's been mopped up by something. No idea. There's these markings on the track. That's what I like to use as my reference for braking, for turning. I brake about a car length before this marking, drop it down to 3rd gear, cut the left-hander as tight as we can. I like to think of this turn as 2 braking points. You know, it's a left and a right. You brake for the left, then you brake for the right. But as you can see, really close to both of these tyres. You want to get back on the power as soon as possible because you've got a straight after the chicane. The only issue is, if you're too eager, you're going to run onto the dirt on exit, and that's a 1x. It's so brutal, this track, so just bear that in mind. And we begin to spot our braking point for the 2nd chicane. Your best bet for your braking point is the 100 board. Nice and simple, nice and easy to see. You're never going to miss it. Brake just after the 100 board, down to 2nd gear, and really dive into this first right-hander. Obviously, you get as close to those tyre walls as you can. As soon as you get past that first tyre wall, it's a little blip on the throttle, and then a little dab on the brake to get yourself turned in for the left-hander. Again, you want to get as close to these tyres as possible and then feed the power back in gently. It's going to save you tenths here just by being smooth. As soon as we're past this left-hander, we want to get back over to the extreme left-hand side of the track for Knickerbrook. It's a fairly simple turn, however, if you underestimate it, you will get a 1x and you will lose a lot of time. Fortunately, again, we've got this little oil spill. That's when we're going to turn in, and when you do turn in, you need to lift off the throttle. Not all the way, just enough to slow the car down, help it pivot a little bit, and then again feed the power back in a bit slower than normal to help with traction, as if you're too aggressive around this turn, your back end will kick out. Then we're up the hill, heading past the water tower here. Nice and simple, flat out left, keep it tight on the left, and then a tricky double right. Fortunately, there is a nice little braking point, these markings, this dust, this dirt on the track that we can use. I use it for every car, it seems. As soon as the front of your car gets to this point, brake fairly gently down into 3rd gear and then trail brake as you go into the turn. You want to start getting back on the power as you start to approach the first curb on the inside. The MX5 seems to love this turn, got loads and loads of grip. Best advice is to just get on the power power early and really crank on that steering wheel. Try and keep it tight so you get close to that second curb as well. And then the exit will be nice and simple, just shift up to fourth, you won't run wide at all. Now we're over these little bumpy bits into the last turn. Nice easy braking point again, this lovely little bit of dirt that people have got on the track that never goes away. Braking just before that, we're going down to second gear. We're braking very hard for this turn, and we're trying to apex quite early for this turn because of the camber and the undulations. It's the most consistent, the best way that I've found to do it. So in second gear, on the curb, go full power and shift up to third just as you are about to hit that crest. Simple as that. Lap done, and we go as quick as we can across the line with the time of 1:54.121. As always, the uninterrupted lap is coming up right now. If you did enjoy this track guide, I do have tons more available on my channel for the MX5, for the Skip Barber, and for the Ferrari GT3 Challenge Fix series. I try and release a new one every single week. I'd really appreciate it if you check that out. Obviously, any feedback you've got for me, any comments, thoughts, drop a comment down below. If you like the video, and if you aren't subscribed, please subscribe. It means a lot to me. Thank you very much. Catch you guys next time.
One minute 54.1